Hey everyone, back again with another video. I know it has definitely been a while, but life has gotten a little bit crazy lately. Now, this time around, I get to drive with a Miata who, being very kind, provided me with this this chase footage. It's going to be very interesting actually seeing my car from the outside, from the chase camera perspective instead of the steering wheel one. And the comparison between a front-wheel drive Golf versus a rear-wheel drive Miata, differences in weight, power, and their drivetrain is going to be a very interesting factor. Definitely look into our driving lines. You'll notice that we have very different driving styles. In certain situations where I cut the corner early, he stays wide, and vice versa. And this depends on the radius of the corner. Now, as you can see, we have a little bit of traffic ahead. You got to keep in mind that the back road is not a personal racetrack, and therefore you cannot control for outside factors such as traffic. However, slow traffic in this road often pulls aside, which is very nice. In this case, I do something that I rarely ever do. Knowing that there is no traffic on the other side and that we have enough time to pass, I make the move. Now, this is kind of the ballsier move that I would not recommend anyone doing, even if you're sure that there's no traffic. And this applies to me too. I don't think I'll be attempting that again. As you know, I have a very strict policy about keeping in my lane. Many drivers like to utilize both lanes when the conditions are right regarding lighting and being able to see the incoming headlights. However, even in those situations, I don't feel comfortable doing that. You'll notice that the Miata uses his space here, unlike me, which is very smart. And as you can see, there's differences in where he's fast compared to where I'm fast. He usually catches up in corners while I pull away in the straighter sections, and it's going to be very noticeable here. I also think a factor of experience plays in because this road is the only road I tackle seriously, while this local here is actually much more versatile with his seat time. He does many roads around here, and in most of them he could easily outperform me. Now we slowed down for safety reasons there, and now we're picking it back up. I usually attack this corner extremely aggressively, but knowing that there was a car there, I kind of left off the gas and braked a little. This corner right here is very deceiving. As you can see, it starts wide, but then right there it decreases. So many times drivers will make the mistake of going in too quick and not braking enough. These downhill sections are one of my favorite sections of the route. It's very helpful to a front-wheel drive hatchback. As you can see, the Miata tried to avoid that dip there, which can be very dangerous. I oftentimes just go through it knowing that my space is limited anyways. This is a very deceiving corner, not in a bad way, but rather because it looks tighter than it is, but you can actually throttle through all the way, no brakes. And this one here requires a little bit of delicacy because, especially for a rear-wheel drive car, oversteer can be easily induced. Here, I let the tail come out a little bit. I manage this with braking mid-corner. Sometimes it's the only way to get rotation around a corner, since in this point I'm running on very worn all-season tires. While that might sound bad, I'm not overusing them. I'm very familiar with the feeling of all-season tires, even when worn, and the grip levels. And so far you can see that the Miata is doing an excellent job. It's very interesting also looking at how he's driving. As you can see, I feel my grip once more, as my tires now are starting to get a little bit overheated. And we got a little bit of traffic up ahead. Thing is, you'd think bikes would be able to keep up, or rather gap cars, but they can't. Cars definitely have the advantage when it comes to cornering. And this is the section where it gets very fun for me and the Miata. This section highlights both of our cars' abilities. However, the way I get around the corners is rather different than him. I choose to trail brake, and of course I think he brakes more linearly than I do. But we both use these dips. As you'll notice, these consecutive right corners have camber dipping to the right. So we both use the familiar trick that you probably learned in Initial D, which is dipping the right wheel in and letting the car propel the way through. Doing this, you don't even need to brake as much. As you notice there, I barely even braked. So it's very easy to manipulate road once you finally know how it affects your driving outcome. We are now coming to the end of the run, and it was definitely one of the funner runs. Just watching it makes me want to go back out there, which is good for you guys because more videos are coming up. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I do apologize for the fact that I haven't posted in a while, but I'm looking to start doing so again. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.